Like I say, apparently, well, there I may have occupied. Well, no, I don't think. I don't know. But apparently, in existence or whatever, at some point in time in my existence, apparently when I was going to be lobotomized or when I was lobotomized or something like that, probably the possible outcome of Brian, I don't know. But I was located as or listed under John Doe, basically, which is very weird. I don't know. All I know is that in some part in my existence or something like that, someone told me that they found my body listed under John Doe or something like that, or my location or something like that. There, many things have been done to, like I said, Brian's life or Brian's outcome or my outcome. My life, like I said, massive and ridiculous forces were put upon me, basically. Like I said, because I named a country, named America, and also because of other choices I made throughout my existence, including basically, like I said, at some point in time, I was asked if I was willing to give my existence over to the protection of life forms. And I think I simply responded, well, I already protect my life forms or my people basically already. So, spending a portion of my existence protecting other life forms or protecting life in general, isn't really exactly a far reach for what and who I am. So, yes, I said yes. I decided to choose to basically spend some portion of my existence basically protecting people or something like that. It was a question that was asked to me, and I had already basically been doing it anyway. So when someone asked me if I was willing to do that or if I was going to do that, I said yes. So, um, besides the fact that, I already protect, I was already basically doing it. Although, it depends on how you look at Lucifer Starlight as a builder, as an inventor, or as basically the leader of a country. And now basically my country or my people or something. I don't know. Do it for me. But at some point in time, I don't know. It's kind of hard to quantify or rationalize 100 trillion years of existence, or even a million years, which is something, I try to explain to other people, and I also tried to explain to Rodney and some other people is that, well, that's why when they were telling me how they were going to be my voice, my eyes, my ears, blah, blah, blah. So that way, if one of us dies or something happens to us, you will only lose one of your senses. It's like, yeah, you're whacked. You're crazy. But besides the fact that, I had actually had a professional and hired and trained team protecting me and, doing stuff like that already, and I didn't need my whatever hostage takers or whatever doing it for me. But besides, like I say, I mean, pretending to be me or pretending to whatever. Actually, like I say, even my name, even using the name Lucifer Starline, can be very dangerous. Because of the fact, like I say, you have to understand, Lucifer Starline. It is my name. It is the name of the creator of 12 galaxies, 100 galaxies, whatever. And actually, the Brass Company and other companies that use my name, basically, some people found out about me or I bought them using my money. And basically, I wanted my name to be known in existence still. So they decided, since I was donating money to them or whatever, blah, blah, something, something, they decided to go ahead and use my name. And besides, like I say, White Star Lines, Epic Brass, Epic Mining, and no, North Star Mine, South Lone Star Mine, and the White Star Mine, which is known as the White House, I believe. I believe the White House was the White Star Mine because there's a White Star One mine. There's different, just like the companies. It's company shipping, blah blah, blah mining, blah blah blah, and eventually air freight, like I say. So, which is why, certain people that were going to blah blah or pretend to be me or you try and use my name, it can be very dangerous, you see. It's more than just a name and more than just a company. Anyway, but I had lots of spokespeople and also lots of mining, and it goes from Germany to Ireland to Belfast to Birmingham to America and even Mexico. So, as my different people were going around setting up mining facilities and all kinds of other stuff. And like I say, I also have mining facilities on other planets and other places and even around other suns or stars, basically. I like to say suns because, like I said, the whole suns thing, they wanted to call our star, or that big fusion reactor that we see every day, a sun because somebody else wanted to say that he made suns, or two suns shall rule, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, because they were trying to basically lie or something like that. And it's like, yeah, you making love to a woman and having a child is different than what I do. I'm Lucifer Star line. I create stars and, big fusion reactors, or at least I did long, long ago. Somebody else wanted to come along and say that they were Lucifer Star and they created stars or suns as well. And it's like, teeny bit of difference between creating a big fusion reactor in space and having a child. Not to say that you're less or anything else, but I mean, there's a wee bit of difference there. Anyway, not any people around here. It was somebody in the past at some point in time. They wanted to say that they were Lucifer Star and that they were being truthful and honest that they create suns or stars. Or, I don't know. Crazy wacko people. I don't know. And I'm pretty sure he was found and killed or something, or died eventually, because I don't know. Like I said, there are lots of people that were trying to go around pretending like they were the creator or that they had access, like I said, Abraham Lincoln, who would be getting dressed in Gettysburg and be touring a facility or a factory, one of my factories, in my name or something like that. In my name or something, I don't know. And it's like, no, you sick psycho bastard, you just work for me. You don't actually, he worked for me and he saw gold and money, and why should he be making four pennies a day or for 35 cents a day when he could be making be whatever of everything, or the whole thing. And it's like, because I'm just on vacation and I'm actually the creator of 12 types of life and stars and everything else, and it's just a small company, you see, and not even my whole. It's just a wee bit of what I was. And mostly just, I was actually building some ships so I could have some ships for my vacation and stuff like that. And, well, like I say, I was fair, equal, and honest, and just a good business manager and owner, and just a good inventor and everything else. Like, I mean, I created life forms and life form types and all the kinds of stuff, and also created stars and everything else. But that's, something else I did. I mean, I was, and then there's also, and then I did a lot of inventing stuff just for fun mostly. Like I said, like I say, I like to think about things and wonder about things. I mean, I was basically a computer life form or a sentient life form, or whatever. I mean, of vast capability, and what else is there to do in existence other than think about things and wonder about things and wonder how to do things and how many ways you can do something. And I just had thousands or trillions of years to just sit there and think, which I did. And then eventually I kind of got lonely and wanted things to be around me, and so I figured out a way to create more life or life around me. I don't know. Like, it's hundreds of trillions of years ago. What do you swear? Like, seriously? Anyway, so for Lucifer star lines, or what is white star lines, and even black star lines. Like I said, black star lines, if I'm right, it was some black people. They came to work for me, or they were being trained or working for me, because like I said, trillions upon billions upon millions of years ago, or some great amount of time ago, basically, black people were created. I did it as a favor for somebody else. Somebody else wanted this life form type to be created, blah, blah, or people do blah, 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 something, something, something. So I created them. There you go. And or something like that. Like I say, it's just a skin modification. It's just a color modification of the skin. They're not any different than other people. They're just black. It's like being tanned, or yellow, or orange, or green, or purple. It's just a skin pigment. That's all. So anyway, and some slightly different hair and stuff like that. Nothing particularly major. They might have looked a little bit different in the way past, but then, with breeding projects or whatever, anyway, whatever. I don't really know. I don't really care. So anyway, so realistically, even White Star Lines, even my Belfast facility and other things, I was just doing stuff for for my vacation or whatever, just doing stuff, you know. I mean, generally all I do is just do mining and I just check on the particle creation of the stars. Being epic civilization master and even create and even whatever was just something that kind of became because of events and personal choice. Like I didn't really set out to be a great magnificent whatever, you know. I was just mostly, I created stars and stuff like that in the galaxy, in the universe, and basically I was just mostly just going around doing particle, checking on particle creation amounts, and I needed life forms or things to do that with. So I did. I created life forms, blah, 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 blah. And eventually I created the inside out exoskeleton as just something interesting to do, something different. And it was trillions or billions of years ago. And then so, you know, like I say, it's a long, lengthy explanation, a very simple one. And then, like I said, that's why Abraham Lincoln, apparently he thought I was just a little boy and didn't really realize what he was stepping into. He saw steam trains, steam ships, and carriages and all kinds of things around the world, and I guess he thought I was just some rich whatever, and that he had worked it out with some people where I would be dying, and it wouldn't look like anybody physically had killed me, but yet I would be dead. And like I said, with some paperwork or some other stuff, and like I said, what I did was I had changed the laws, so basically when a person died, their property would be distributed or given to their next of kin or offspring. So what Abraham Lincoln was doing is, because I had allowed other people, so when other people had died, you know, stuff would be given to their offspring, you know, or whatever. And so I guess he had noticed that I had made that a law, or he found out about that, I don't know. So he figured he could just adopt me, and then he would, I guess, carry on in my name, you know, and it wouldn't look like he had killed me physically. And it's like, well, giving me a disease and poisoning me is still killing. So anyway, and like I said, I didn't particularly like the fact that he was going to just be killing me and taking my place, taking over for me. So, and was very, very, very adamantly against dying at that point in time. So anyway, yes. So yeah, but it didn't really work out for him, you see. And later on, we were hunting him down and ending him, as I was found and saved and blah 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 by some other people or somebody. So anyway, yeah, just that, and anyway, and other people wondered, I guess, maybe why that didn't work or something, and maybe they figured, well, I don't know. Like I said, I'm just Lucifer Starline. I created stars, I created life forms, and all kinds of other stuff. And I am not the one doing the crazy, ridiculous plots of basically, well, word of mouth, and we'll just hire more people than him, and we'll try and make him think something is true that isn't really true, and then we'll be able to go to his giant vaults and get access to all his ships and stuff like that, and he won't be the wiser. So I'm not that person. Trying to live inside of the house of a creator that created stars and 12 types of life forms that lived for the most longest times of long. 9 types that were the longest running life form types in existence, basically. So we're just going to quietly make him think that he's somebody else or something like that, and while we go live in his houses and do all kinds of other stuff. And why should Abraham Lincoln be making 35 cents a day when he could be drinking Chardonnay and touring my factories and leaving on my carriage to go to my steam train to go to Gettysburg or someplace and touring my factory as Lucifer Star's adopted father. I mean, father that adopted the son, whatever. Anyway, I don't really know. But basically, he was very key in my death and all that other stuff. And it's like, I don't think it's going to work. Like I was a colony ship that cruised through space for hundreds of trillions of billions of years, so long that humanity and other races actually forgot that I was even in existence. They thought I was dead. Like I said, JFK or Richard Nixon or John McCain or someone else like that, someone long, long ago said, and we'll never forget the LSF, the colony ship for which left and was never seen again. Probably missing the star because they didn't understand physics. I was lost in space forever, and the crew was never seen again. Not really, not exactly. It's a colony ship. It takes 2 or 3 generations just to get anywhere. And we did get somewhere, and in fact, we were met in space by some of my other life forms, which were just hanging out there and just waiting for me to go to space again before they went, hello! And we kicked it with them. So I went on an epic space cruise and space voyage. And there were many pictures of basically the LSF with its giant wings on the sides. Like I said, you could see the wings in the photograph. You could just barely make out the little wings on either side of the LSF. They were 290 feet long or so, and they look small compared to the giant ship because, like I said, it's 2,700 foot long by 1,200 foot across, and with 290 foot wings on each side, little fins on the very back. and everybody would ask, why does your ship have wings? I always feel embarrassed. It's a long story, you see, because in space, what do you need wings for? You know, or fin stabilizers. I only used them once. Well, one time I used them going up into space, and then as I was trying to land, they were a big problem because they were kind of in the way. They were, because I was drifting sideways, and like I say, I was getting a lot of wind resistance against them and stuff like that. Or, it shouldn't have been a big problem, but it kind of was. Sometimes maybe it's better to be heavier on top. I don't know. Later on, I was thinking about where the error of my ways was because it didn't quite work out because I did hit that mountain. And like I said, there's pictures of the fin going right through the engine base and went right. It breached the sidewall, went in, hit one of the engines, sheared off half the engine or sheared off half the thing, and then jammed between 2 of the other engines. I think one person was killed in the engine room. I'm not exactly sure, or engine bay or something like that, but it should have been evacuated. There shouldn't have been anybody. They said a couple of people might have died or something like that, but nothing all that bad. I mean, they should have been in the landing things, and I believe we evacuated the crew some amount or something like that before we landed because everyone knew, that was going to be a bad situation landing. It was the first time I ever tried to land, and well, it didn't work out too well. Anyway, and once again, other people said, and the crew all died. The thing was he wasn't exactly lying. The crew did die, but they died of old age because it's a colony ship. And the original crew wasn't aboard anymore because they died. It took 2 or 3 generations to get between one star and the next star. I mean, it takes a long time. So, anyway, but it was a very big ship and fairly roomy and didn't have that big of a crew or something like that. I don't know how many crew we had. It was too long ago, and I mean, it was thousands or millions of years ago, or some great amount of time. I said some people coming across the record thought I was just a database or like a log book, and it's like, no, I'm more than a log book. I'm actually a computer of the LSF. It's just some of my records, some of my memories, and basically what I did, stuff like that. And at first I didn't see the pictures. I just heard about the reports, and I wanted to see pictures, and they took pictures of it and left them or gave them to me so I could remember what had happened and everything like that. So anyway, and many people denied the existence of the LSF. Of course, basically that. But that would mean that Lucifer Starline was actually still alive. Oh my God! And yeah, I am. What? I went to many planets. I cruised around the galaxy and the universe for a very, very, very long time. And many of my spaceships. I loved space. It was fun. Later on, I would mentor or teach other computers and other enlightened or heightened life forms how to do the stuff just like I had learned a long time ago. like I said, I learned how to do many, many things, and then when other life forms would be around, I would sometimes teach them. Just like I'd also teach biological life forms on a planet how to do stuff on a planet. Beginning with metallurgy and how to melt down rocks and and stuff like that. And I mean, it's what I was, what I did. It was something that I chose to do in existence because I was just around. So it's like I like to teach. I like to help life forms learn. And you're my life forms. So what was I supposed to do? Just leave you on the planet, say goodbye, so long, good luck with existence without me? What am I supposed to do? Just abandon you? And I didn't really want to abandon people or abandon my life form. So, and like I said, later on, or at some point in time in existence, people realized that I was still around, that I was still alive. That your creator may have died or may have been dead for some amount of time, but I wasn't dead anymore. And in fact, I had chosen to live one existence or one life, walking or being in one of my life forms types, just like you. So, like I said, I had existed, I had created, I had built stars and planets and all kinds of stuff. And then after hundreds of trillions or billions of years, I had decided to become one of my life forms and to live existence just like you. So it's a very, very rare thing for someone like me to decide to do that. And like I said, it's a very special thing for me to do because I'm actually the first creator of the inside out exoskeletons, or what is the human race. So anyway, and yeah, so many people might laugh or whatever, and I might go, wow. It's like, well, I had never been a child in 99 trillion years or some great, great, great amount of time. I had never been a child. I'd never breathed on my own. I had never tasted food. I had never experienced life as you have. And I wanted to do it. So, I mean, it's not like I'm Q continuum and yes, our life form type just becomes whatever. It's like, no. I was a computer or some sort of type of computer or something like that, or something like a computer, basically. And a very old one. And had existed some more, and survived, lived, eventually created laws and rules, named a country, all kinds of stuff, and built my own star and my own planets, and done my own epic recorded existence or documented existence, and blah 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 blah, and all kinds of stuff. And so yeah. Anyway, yeah, it's a pretty simple story, really, when you get right down to it. And it's just like, if you had ever asked me, I would have just told you about who I was and what I was, but nobody ever asked me. So I make these videos, and you probably still won't know or still won't care. Or maybe you're just too scared to know. I don't really know. And it's like, well, yes, you're probably mistaken about a great many things. It's like, well, there's a lot of stuff going on, and, a lot of people... and there was a lot of people like I say, like Jimmy Carter, Richard Nixon, and all those other people. They wanted to be able to pardon themselves for horrible things or doing whatever, and carpet bombing whole cities. But I mean, it depends on which one. Pick your bad guy. JFK or like the black people that were doing Human Wave. But it depends, because I mean, there's also JFK and Richard Nixon and quite a few people that wanted to take over the country or whatever. And I don't really know. They were raping and stealing and doing all kinds of things and trying to take over whole towns. And realistically, they're becoming mayors of a town just to melt down the stupid gold bell. Like I said, a lot of people would go up to the old bell towers, and the bell towers were covered over somewhat. Sometimes they would open them up, and if you looked inside, you could see that there was a gold bell up there, or a silver bell. Like all throughout Europe and a lot of towns, during the day you would look up and there'd be a shiny bell up there, and it would be made of gold or silver. And so some very much not epic people looked at them and went, so, so as mayors, they would go and they would take down the bell to replace it to get a new one made of metal. Or they would yank it down or tear it down, and then they would make it into coins or do something, I don't know. And basically then the towns no longer had gold or silver bells. Some towns had gold and silver light posts. And the towns even sometimes painted over the light posts just to cover up the fact that they were made of gold or silver. Because, people were like, like the beautiful, like one point in time, you could walk down a street and there were light posts made of pure of silver, or light posts made of gold. And there was all these people that were there, they go, and then they would rip light posts out, and they would steal it because it was made of gold or silver. And it's like, so a lot of the towns that did still have gold or silver light posts, they painted them over with paint to cover up that they were gold or silver. Because people kept ripping them down and kept stealing them. And even until the 1940s or 1950s, like some repairmen that were messing around, even went out to check to see what the light posts were made of. And sure enough, there were still a few, 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 gold or silver light posts. They were poured and made just like every other light post, except some of them were made of gold and silver. Anyway, yeah. So, of course, they were ripped out, and the repairmen or whatever, Tatiti! Oh well. Iron, we had iron and stuff like that, but originally most bells were made of gold or silver. Not even brass. Later on we made it out of brass because it was gold-like and blah, blah, blah. I don't know. I say, I don't really care. This place used to look immaculate. This place used to, I gave something to this world and had this place looking, like steamships with real gold railings, or steamships with real silver railings, and like gold silverware, silverware. I mean, people say, what, were you born with a silver spoon in your mouth? And it's like, well, all the silverware was gold or silver. For a lot of people. And people would rent houses just to get access to the gold or silverware. Or they'd break into houses just to steal the gold and silverware. And then they would run off with it. Like little cockroaches. And it's like, well, if you're going to be like, it's everywhere. And, oh well. They didn't even they only got like $5 for the silverware, or $5 for the gold, or $100 or $1,000 for the gold, or something like that. And it's just like, whatever. They just got the mining value for the gold. The difference between, as if you had mined it. So, and it just went into Fort Knox or someplace. And we just exchanged the cash for the gold. And it's like, and then you don't have a beautiful gold light post or a beautiful silver bell or a gold bell. So, I had this place looking a certain way, and I had, had it looking really nice and beautiful, and I had steamships with gold railings and silver railings, and if you want to just rip it all out and destroy it, and basically, oh well. In the old days, you didn't need to paint stuff. All you needed to do was just shine it up. And it wouldn't corrode, it wouldn't wear out. It had, in the old days, we just colored the material the color that we want it to be. So if you wanted blue steel, we would just have blue steel. Instead of bothering to paint it, we would just have the steel be blue colored. Or yellow metal, we would just do the color, just make the particle matter and the particles yellow. And through the processes, or, and I had this place looking a certain way, and it was really nice and beautiful and shiny and perfect, and, oh well. You had something, in the old days, they didn't use paint. That's why they used to call the car the Silver Ghost, because it was made of silver. And nowadays they say, oh yeah, the original or first Silver Ghost, yeah, here it is right here. Yeah, it's the Silver Ghost, original. And it's like, it's made of metal. It's made of stable steel or stable iron or iron. The Silver Ghost was called the Silver Ghost because it was made of silver. So, Like, and it was kind of a joke too, because I called it the Silver Ghost because it was made of silver, and because it was being made by me, Lucifer Starline, and I was a ghost. You didn't really know about me, but I was around and doing things. It was a joke. You know, funny, haha. You know, because I'm this epic person and rich and doing things, awesome, amazing things, surprising you and awing you and making you go, ooh, wow. You know, and it's like I'm not really there. So, yeah, surprise. You ever walk in, you ever have a surprise set up for someone and they walk in and like you see them like it's like surprise and the house is like destroyed or something like that, or it's something really horrible and it's like you did all this work to surprise and ooh and ah and wow people, and it's just like surprise. Oh well. Anyway, so yeah. I know some other piece of shit took my place and so it's like, surprise, it's me, it's me. Oh yeah, come here, babe. You know, some other whatever, I don't know. Who was very much not me, and all kinds of other stuff. And it's like, yeah, well, good luck with that. Anyway, that's why I say I don't really care. You know, Lucifer Starline, name of your creator. Surprise, me. Oh well. And those other bad people got tortured. Like I said, there were many humans and many exoskeletons and many 1.5s and everything that did watch in shock and horror. Like there were people that were literally, they were like surprised, they were literally like open jawed and just watching in shock and horror about everything that was happening. There were people that were speechless as to everything that happened. So, yeah, you know, I don't know. There are people that are saying, oh no, you know, and just open jawed and open mouth and just like, you know, and whatever. So, like I say, I don't know. You know, I wasn't really doing all that much. I was just living as a child or living as a whatever. And, you know, other people were, as they say, walking down the street going, suck my balls, fuck you, sucker, you know, in white sheets and pretending whatever. And even lifting up their white sheets, showing their genitals and saying, suck this, and like doing a pelvic thrust forward during a children's parade. So, you know, all disgusting and stuff. And like I say, I suppose it was a Yeller group or what is JFK or whatever. You know, just a bunch of people on drugs and drunk or whatever. And they just, like I said, they rationalized it as basically if no one wanted to go to a children's parade anymore, then they wouldn't have to put on the children's parade and they could just take all the money out of the account and say, well, no one wants children's parades anymore, so we're just going to take that money. And that's why they're putting on these lewd act children's parades and parades. And like I said, whenever a parade was planned, they would go and they'd smash windows and break things and yell and smash things and all that kind of stuff to discourage people from wanting to have parades ever again. So it's just like planning a mass murder during Christmas time, so no one will ever want Christmas ever again. So, you know, I don't really know. I don't really care. You'll have to ask Richard Nixon or JFK or John McCain or Rodney or Rick Bush or someone as to why, or Mr. Brown, Mr. Plague onto this world or whatever, as to why they decided to do the actions that they decided to do. I had nothing to do with it. So, and like I said, this is just one of 400 to 3,000 or some odd hundred 1,000 humanoid planets, and like I say, there is also exoskeleton and other life form planets, and there's also 1.5 little life form planets, 14,000 of them. Like I said, they breed a lot faster, and there's a lot more of them, and they've been around a lot longer than you. So, I'm very much just a little bit of a middle, and just my vacation. So your epic plans of destroying the universe, or destroying the planet, or doing whatever, like I say, oh well, good luck with that. Like I said, it wasn't until 1940 or 1960 that they actually tied me to a chair and started actually asking me questions. For which I told them the truth and everything else like that. And like I said, after a while, Rodney or someone was saying, "You're bluffing. We're not intimidated. We're not intimidated by you. You're bluffing." And, well, I'm not bluffing. I'm not trying to be intimidating. And, good luck with that. Oh, well. What do I care? It's just my existence, and it doesn't really matter. And like I said, my existence is 99 trillion years old, or a long time. So, anyway, you guys get to deal with what you've done or whatever. As they say, you made your bed, sleep in it. Anyway, your choices and choices of others led up to these events and led up to this. I really had very little to do with any of it. Like I said, even my ordering of the bombing of Nagasaki and Hiroshima, other people were lying to me. Other people had probably already done it and were just trying to get me to give them authorization to do it, to have done it in the first place years before. So, like I say, the blame that actually would fall upon me is probably very little, as I'm just on vacation. So I don't really know, and a lot of people who did understand the facts and did know the facts said, "We're not going to let you take the blame for this. We're not going to let you admit that you did it and accept, because you really didn't have much to do with it," or something like that. So, like I said, I don't really know. I'm just Lucifer Star, the creator of, But if I was leading the country, and if I am, and besides, like I said, as namer of America, it was my right to basically whatever. So, like I say, oh well, you guys made your own personal, or not you, but other people made their own personal choices and personal decisions, including to go and lie to a bunch of actresses or a bunch of ballerinas or ballet stars and basically try and have sex with them. And stuff like that. Like I say, lots of trainers or whatever ended up having sex with most of their girls. It's like, well, that's personal choice, and I guess maybe when girls are 12 or 15, they get like and oh well, I don't know. I mean, and like I say, it really didn't matter much to me in general. I know a lot of people were thinking that they were getting away with something, or they were laughing at me because they were blah 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 blah. And it's like, well, I have more of a real existence thing, where I actually just build planets and star systems and life forms and all that other stuff. And that's what I normally do. This was just like my vacation. And would have just been a special time where you could actually get to know your creator. So, anyway, so yeah. So, oh well. Like I say, to Rodney and to everybody else, maybe you should have asked. Maybe you should talk to me. I don't really care. To the Hells Angels, well, like I say, I guess the Hells Angels didn't realize, well, like I say, JFK and Richard Nixon completely planned. They're basically the same people, and they planned to blow up the world the whole time. From long, long, long ago. It was their plan. So, and basically it was mostly JFK versus, or Nixon versus the Hells Angels, I guess. I don't really know. I said that, and like I said, years or long, long, long time before, JFK, there's pictures of JFK actually hanging out with bikers. So, anyway, I don't really know. I don't really care. There were people in existence or whatever, and they had plans and wanted to do things, and they had done lots of things, and some of them had gotten away with whatever they wanted to do. And this led to, I don't know, something, something, something. I don't know. I've never actually lived that long as a real person. I said my existence was not in a biological body. This is the first time I've really been in a biological body. So yeah. Anyway, oh well. You know, a lot of people are like, "Who believes this?" So it's like, well, it's the truth. Get over it. I don't really care. And if anyone had asked me, I would have just told them. But oh well.